Today we're going to be exploring a really cool tool called Trello. Trello is an easy-to-use program that helps you to organize tasks as well as to visualize them. It's the perfect tool, in my opinion, for anyone who works in a busy environment, such as clinicians or faculty. In essence, Trello provides a bird's-eye view that lets you know what's being worked on, who's working on what, and how specific tasks are progressing. And it works just as well on a desktop, laptop, as it does a cell phone. So it's a fantastic tool. Right now, I'm at the Trello dashboard at Trello.com, and you can see that I have 4 boards already up. I have my personal boards, Common Good Strategies, Consulting, Courses, and my day-to-day work here at UC Davis Health. Underneath it, you can see the one team board I have right now for the Department of Faculty Development and Diversity. And this board is there so that my team can collaborate more easily. All right, let's go ahead and open up this board. And as you can see, this board is made up of lists that represent a workflow. This particular board is set up using the same categories as Stephen Covey's time management matrix. So my lists include new tasks, tasks that take less than 2 minutes. That's what I typically do when I get in the office. And then the categories from Covey, the urgent and important, important but not urgent, and so on. Now, if we scroll down to the end here, you can see I've added another list called Done. And the reason I have this list is so that when I complete a task, I can drag it over here, and this will enable me to review it at the end of the day. You can add an unlimited number of lists, but I would recommend being very careful because if you get too many lists up here, it can be difficult to manage. Simple is best. Now, as you can see, each list has what are known as cards, and the cards represent a task. The first option you have is to add a label, and as you can see, I have my labels of doing no issues, doing with issues. So for example, if I'm waiting on a piece of information to include in a research paper, I would go ahead and label it this. And I'm going to uncheck not doing no issues. So now I have labels. You can edit and add a description. If you're working on a team, that's helpful. And as well, if you're working on a team or with someone else on this particular task, writing comments back and forth here is extremely helpful as well. On the right-hand column, you can select members to add to this task. I'm going to go ahead and select my colleague Becca, and there she is there. The labels we went over. The checklists are helpful if a particular task has subtasks within it. You just enter them in. And as you're completing them, you can go ahead and check it off, and you can see the visual progress here. Now let's say that to get data on flipped classrooms that I have a due date. So I'll go ahead and select a date like that, and that will help me keep it on target. And finally, you can add attachments. So that can be documents or images. And the last thing I want to show you about the cards are you can watch this particular card, meaning that you can get notifications when something changes. And I often do this when I'm working with others on a particular task, so I can see when they've completed their portion of that task. All right, so that is the card system. We're now going to take a look at the board menu. Actually, I didn't need to scroll down, but we're going to go ahead and click Show Menu. And you can see that on this board, I've invited my friend Becca into it and one other individual who hasn't responded yet. To invite people, you just click this and enter in their email. Very simple. Now this is going to, this section is going to list all the members that are part of this board. If you have a a blue chevron over the image that designates you as the administrator, where you can set the various permissions for this board. Now, let's say Becca is going to join me on the task to look at the open data budget surplus. I can just grab her and drop her right there. We're going to work on that one together. And you can also add it within the card, as I mentioned before. So as we look down the rest of the options within the menu, you can filter your cards, which is very helpful. Let's say I want to see what tasks I've delegated to others. I can click that, or the tasks I'm no longer doing. And so that's a helpful feature. You can also sort by members. Okay, let's head back out of the filter cards. Stickers are fun. It just makes it a little more fun, and you can kind of spruce up. Let's take off the filtering there. You can kind of spruce up your boards a little bit. We're going to add that right there, but not necessary. I don't really use the stickers too often. And we're going to go over the email to board settings in a future tutorial, as well as the power-ups, where you connect external services to Trello, including adding tasks or cards using your voice, which is a very cool feature. So in the next video, if you are interested in Trello, I'd encourage you to try it out. In the next video, we'll go over automations, Trello power-ups, and some other features that have not been covered here. Thanks for watching.